let's flip the script. Two of the guys that you think are risky guys that the Browns could take.
Now, these two have been tied with the Browns here recently. The first one I'm going to go with is Caleb Farley. Caleb Farley, cornerback out of Virginia Tech. He was somebody who opted out this past season. And really, when it comes to my first round picks, and this will be a trend here for both of these guys I'm going to mention, but you don't want to have as much red flags when you're selecting somebody. So for Caleb Farley, he was somebody who has dealt with a torn ACL back in 2017, dealt with back spasms that were recurring in 2019, and has already in 2021, despite not playing in 2020, has already had another surgery for his lower back as well. And they call it a relatively minor surgery, but even still, I would be concerned about that, especially if we're talking about your first round draft pick and somebody who you're basically looking at as a franchise cornerstone going forward. So, I would go ahead and say that Caleb Farley, that's a little too risky for me. The other one for me is Jaelan Phillips out of Miami. And I know everybody was gushing about his pro day and his numbers that he had. And look, I mean, he's a phenomenal edge rusher, but at the same time, he's dealt with a lot of concussions over his career. And especially, too, I mean, to the point where he was considering retirement at one point down in Miami. So for me, that's obviously not a great sign if my top guy was thinking about retiring before he even entered the league, let alone playing in the league. So for me, I worry a little bit about Phillips and the long-term ramifications of those concussions and of some of those injuries. So he's somebody that I feel is a little too risky for me, especially given his injury history.